we have an amazing human being inside and out from Kansas. He's a DJ, the man behind the sound emotes. And if you haven't been to his room, check him out. Check him out because his emotes are spectacular. I've never seen another room that has those sound emotes, so it's awesome. So make sure that you go check him out. He goes live. His live schedule is on his profile. And so, Jason, first off, how are you today?
I am absolutely wonderful. How are you?
I am doing fantastic as well. I was looking forward to this interview. And just tell me a little bit about yourself. Why did you choose that name, Triple Nickel Roadhouse?
So, when I first started out, the idea was to call it the Ranch, and obviously because I'm big on country music, and it just the iterations of it didn't work. I couldn't bring the visuals together. Um, yeah, for instance, I call the Heart Me the cover charge because
I
the
love
whole
that.
point is to make it look like a bar, right?
Yeah.
So um, the ranch didn't go, and I just got to thinking, what can I do? And the whole time I'm thinking the movie Roadhouse. That bar was called the Double Deuce, and I thought, okay, how can I do that without stepping on coattails, but still pay homage and all the same thing?
Right.
So the number 555 actually comes up several times in my life. I'm not a numerologist or anything like that, but I think things are cool. And for those Gen Xers who are here watching, 555 is a Goocher. If Goocher, the Goonies, five in a or three in a row, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
One of the most important times that it comes up in my life is my wife was actually born at 5:55 p.m.
Oh,
So,
wow.
and I knew a guy. I'm a trucker by trade. I knew a guy whose truck was named five or numbered 555, and his CB handle was Triple Nickel. So there's a few others out there. Oh, one of mention. There is a unit in the United States Air Force stationed in Italy, and it is the 555 Squadron, and they call themselves the Triple Nickel. I'm a huge supporter of military service, so I definitely want to throw that in there. That's where the Triple Nickel came from.
Awesome. Are you a former military? Were you in the military at any point in your life?
I was not. I tried.
Yeah.
My dad served in the Air Force. He was a member of the Air National Guard here in Kansas, and then when the Pueblo was captured in Korea, he got activated to active duty status, and he went over there, and as he liked to put it, play around for 17 months. But
Yeah.
I'm very proud of his service. I wanted to be a naval aviator when I was a lot younger and a lot smaller, but there were certain reasons in place that they would not take me, so I didn't get to go. But
You were
very
destined for
much
something
appreciative.
else. Definitely destined for something else. So I have a couple of questions in the chat. What part of Kansas are you from?
I am in Doodah or Oz. I guess Kansas is all Oz, but I'm in Wichita, right? Smack dab in the south central part of the state.
Nice. So Kansas roots. How did growing up there shape your taste in music? Tell me a little bit about that.
When I was coming into age to appreciate my own music tastes, there was the middle 80s, maybe the early 80s. So um, 80s rock was probably my first real music love. Of those songs, the one that always sticks in my head is Brian Adams' Summer of '69. It's just the way that it starts out with that hard drum beat and guitar riff. That's one of the signature '80s sounds for me. I mean,
Nice.
and then of course you've got the typical Gen X anthems. Don't you forget about me? And
Yeah.
anybody who watched The Breakfast Club. That's what I really came up on, and
Yeah.
I actually rebelled against country for quite some time.
Really?
My dad was a long-time listener of our flagship radio station here, which is KFDI, and he had merch from them. And I remember one shirt. He said on their 25th anniversary, they put out a T-shirt that said KFDI. I've had it stuck in my ears for 25 years. But I was a kid, and 80s country really didn't do much for me.
Right.
Uh, it wasn't until the 90s came along that I started really getting into country. My mom, she liked some of the earlier 80s when they first started going into electronic drums and whatnot.
Right.
But her deal was Motown, and I definitely was not a fan of Motown at that age.
Yeah.
So when the 90s rolled around, country became my thing.
Sweet. So talk to me about, I take it that you're a Gen X, right? Like me.
Yep,
Talk to me.
7'4".
Yeah. So if, let's say you had to pick, 80s rock, 90s metal, classic rock, which one is your desert island playlist?
I got to go with classic rock because if there's one artist of those three that I could listen to their entire catalog, it's Creedence Clearwater Revival.
I'm taking notes here. It's so funny because I was listening this morning, and I'm sure if you're familiar with JoJo, and he plays hard rock. And my husband's like, "Since when have you become a rocker now?" Because I normally don't listen to that music. And he said, and we had this conversation. He said he loves classic rock. He likes more of the classic rock as well. So it's interesting. So let's talk about a little bit about your channel, right? So how did you know? Did you wake up one day and say, you know what, I want to go on TikTok? How did that come about?
My sister, who has been on TikTok for, I don't know, 2, 3 years, she kept sending me stupid videos of people eating Tide Pods and dancing out of the passenger side of their car. And I didn't really care about any of that. I mean, I did my thing on the FB, and my world was kind of small when it comes to social media, and I was happy with that. And she just kept sending stuff, and I was like, finally, I
Yeah.
just went ahead and downloaded it, and I found some pretty fun stuff. And then I found I'm going to mention some names because I believe in giving credit where credit is due. Um, I found DJ Angie, and I got really inspired by some of the things that were happening in her room, and
Yeah.
I wanted to go live myself. I'm kind of a nerd. I got a lot of useless information rolling around in my head, and trivia is one of my big things. My parents would not play Trivial Pursuit with me.
Really?
They
Hey, you
refused
need
to.
to join me for the competitive trivia.
I do. I really do. I think I would enjoy it.
Yeah.
Uh, so I started trivia, Round Mounds Trivia, and
Okay.
it was 5 nights a week. I put my own trivia boards together, came up with my own questions and vetted them to make sure. I was only called on two of them, and both of them had duplicate answers, and I didn't find the second answer. So it was pretty cool. And I think Holly is one of the ones that called me on that. So it was cool that people were not just there to play; they were there to engage and get in it, and then to catch me when I flub up.
So that's
Um,
how you started on TikTok? You started first as a trivia host, and then okay. So
yeah,
how did, and I know that's not part of what I asked you, so I'm sorry to throw you a curveball,
no,
but
no, no.
how
I
did
love that
you
term.
decide? I'm just curious, from being a trivia host to then now being a live DJ. How did that transition come about?
So one of my oldest TikTok friends, Hotel California, sent me an invite to 1980 something live,
Mm-hmm.
and I got to back up a minute. While I was getting rolling, I started out on here as the Round Mound of Sound. That was my profile's name, and then the Gen X wave hit.
Right.
And since I'm a trucker, I changed mine to Gen X Trucker.
Okay.
And when I started thinking about going live, I'm like, nobody wants to do trivia with Gen X Trucker. So I went back to the Round Mound of Sound. And then Hotel sent me that uh, interview, or sorry, um, invitation.
Right.
And I went in there. There's this guy that's sitting in front of this large landscape deal. I don't think I'd ever seen anyone who was broadcasting from studio at that point. So being a DJ and an audio visual guy, it appealed to me. And before I could do anything, he saw my name come into his room, and I really don't think he was blowing smoke or anything like that. And I'm not patting myself on the back or anything, but he stopped talking and he said, "The Round Mound of Sound. That's the coolest name I've ever seen on TikTok." And
Wow.
I was done. I was like, "Oh man, I got to do this stuff." So I got his attention through chat and DM, and then we ended up having several conversations over the phone. He kind of mentored me on the equipment that I got to have to get it done, and it took like 2 months longer than expected to get launched, but I finally did. And although my room looks nothing like his,
Yeah.
it is modeled after what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then there was also another host that was part of the group, uh, Blast to the '80s Live. He was he did more of the mixing in of stuff. He put country in his show, so I kind of cottoned on to the way he did it. And he also had his wife in there with him quite often. So his room was modeled like 1980 something. And then of course Gen Xer Alternative '80s Live was part of the group too.
Right.
And so I got kind of the how do I say it? The foundation came from 1980 something Live.
Mm-hmm.
The inspiration came more from Blast of the '80s Live, and then the oh man, I want that energy came from Gen X or Alternative '80s Live. So the three of those guys are really the ones who put down the map that I wanted to follow.
Yeah. That's awesome. And then you spun it in your own way because you do have a little bit of everything of that. You know, have that just like similar to 1980s Live. You have that scenery, for lack of a better word. And then you also have the interactive sounds, which I definitely want to talk about. So, one of the things you're known for is for those. Thank you so much for the level up. For using those sound modes and the sound chat as well, which I started using yesterday, to make your lives interactive. So, talk to me a little bit about that. And guys, if you haven't checked them out, seriously, go to his room. His sounds are amazing. His emotes make amazing sounds. So talk to me a little bit about that.
So being a creator who broadcasts with TikTok Live Studio, I have the ability to use Tickfinity, which is a companion program.
Yeah.
And Tickfinity has a lot of features that you can do, including putting sounds behind emotes, making pop-up videos come up onto your screen. It's just really cool. There's a lot of toys in Tickfinity, and it's I don't think that I would be as interesting as a creator if I didn't have them. And
Aw,
quite honestly,
you have an
to
awesome personality too. I really like and I love that when you enter the room, you know, you greet everyone. Everyone is acknowledged. I really
yeah,
love that, and your room is, you know, very everybody's very they're very welcoming. So it's a good positive vibe that I get there. Nelson says not true. Absolutely, you're so humble. You are very humble. Because
thank
I
you.
think you're amazing, guys. And again, I can't say it enough. just to put it this way, I am country. I really don't know much about country music. I grew up in New York City, and let me tell you, it's not even about the music. I mean, the music obviously makes also the room, but it's about the whole package, and you have the whole package. So, um, let me ask you this one: what's your wildest, funniest thing a sound emote has triggered during your live stream? Because you have a lot of great ones there. My favorite is the Betty White one. So,
Yeah, the Betty White one's a really good one. It got popular really fast. It's probably the uh, third or fourth most popular. And if you don't mind, I can play them.
I don't mind at all. I want them to
Okay.
see. I want you guys need to go there and subscribe. I think it was either the first or second time that I went to his room. I subscribed just because it's just awesome. It's really
Thank you. So I put a Betty White picture up, and it's a picture that I found that someone had done, obviously in one of those uh, image editor programs, and it shows her with a black background. She's wearing a red shirt, and she's flipping the camera off. And the sound that goes with it is
Fuck you, Debbie! Now this looks like on top of me.
now.
love it.
Since I'm not broadcasting, I have to play them out of my headphones because I don't
Oh,
actually have
fine.
speakers in the studio. So
Yeah.
I hope that sounded okay.
That sounded perfect. I love it. I love it. Uh, Anybody in the chat, you guys know what I'm talking about. What's your favorite? I think Nelson said something about, oh, your face. I think
Oh
that
yeah,
one, yeah. Oh, I
oh yeah.
forgot
I'm
how
gonna,
does that one go, Jason?
if you don't mind, I'll play three
I
more.
I don't mind at all. This is your show. This is
Oh
you.
no. Uh oh. Hold on. My phone is going off because my alarms are on. Anyway, so that one I would say is tied for third and fourth with this one here.
You're killing me, Breeze.
That one gets thrown down a lot. Breeze is one of my best friends, and he plays the part of the bartender in the bar, and he's always making silly comments and things. And anytime somebody does that, any one of the subscribers can throw that down, and it's kind of a it gets. I say it on the mic a lot more than anything else, and
Yes.
it's always fun. The number two emote came in. Tiff X is one of my favorite friends on here too, and she does a live in the mornings. And I have a habit of turning on my screen recorder before I go into her room because it gets off the rails real fast.
Oh, I
And
gotta check her out.
oh, it's fun. They have a blast over there. Um, and one morning she had a guy in there. I didn't know this at the time. She had a guy in there named Stetson Hooks. He's a singer songwriter on the app, and he was playing some music in a box. And she wanted me to come in, hoping I would come in so I could talk to this guy and maybe get him on my show. Well, as soon as I walked in the room, I heard.
Oh my gosh, Jason. Oh my gosh, Jason.
So I had to make that an emote, and I put it on my face emote first because I didn't have anything else available, and I told a couple people about it when they came in that night, and it got put in there just one right after another, probably 50 times. It just, oh my gosh, Jason, oh my God, over and over and over. So
Yeah.
I would say that's probably tied for one and two, and then the one that Nelson's talking about, which is the other tie for number one or two, is this one. Well, maybe. Let's try it here.
You need to shut the fuck up.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, that's unique. I think you're the only room that I've been to that has those sound emotes, and they're just it's just great, because that's a little extra added to the room. It's unique. It keeps the chat going, which I think is a very smart thing to do. How
Can
do you?
I roll back to the military real quick?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
want to play one more emote for you. I have let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 emotes that are directly geared for military and first responder services, and because I'm such a huge supporter of both of those, so um, I put sounds behind each of them. The Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines have their hymns a short snippet behind them. The fire emote is Nelly. It's getting hot in here. The police emote, I don't remember what it is. Oh yeah. So that's the theme from SWAT, and that's there because of one of my other regulars, our Jeff Goat 24. He's a law enforcement person, and he wanted me to put that sound behind it. And then the EMS thin white line deal. It's got the minions behind it. Beat beat. Just something fun. But the other one, the one that I really want to play for you to exemplify my appreciation of service.
Right.
I took a part of a popular country song that talks about veterans. Sorry, I'm going to get choked up. Um, Veterans that don't make it back, active duty service people that don't make it back. And it is the POW MIA graphic, and the sound behind it is simple as that. So that's a little example of the stuff that you will hear
Yeah.
at any point.
On top of, because it's not here, but I know the gifts. So you also even make some sounds with gifts. I think if they're over, I think a certain amount. Talk to me about that too.
Those are still in the works.
Okay.
I'm in the process of creating pop-up videos that will be actuated based on the number of coins. They're going to start. I think I have them started at either 300. No, it's 399. I think, because 300 will get somebody into Mama D's Swanky Suite.
Okay.
It's kind of like you get your name up there. It stays on the deal for the show, and
Nice.
but 399 and up, like as it goes up, the videos are going to get longer. The ones that are over, I think 100, maybe it's 200. I don't remember. So 10,000 or 20,000 coins. Those are 30 seconds long, and
Oh
each
wow.
one of them, as it gets higher, they get longer. 5 second or 10 second videos for the lower levels, and then 15, 20, and 30. And they are all snippets of concerts. So, there when one of those, when I finally get them rolled out, when someone sends a gift, is when you get to that upper echelon, each gift has its own video. In the lower echelons, there's going to be a pool of 8 to 10 videos that Tickfinity will choose on its own.
Oh, that's
It'll
awesome.
just pick at random one of those pool videos. And I have to give credit, absolute credit, to another creator on here. His name is Sweets, and that's with a Z on the end and underscores on the bookends. He is a phenomenal creator, and he has learned to make Tickfinity sing like a yo-yo ma fiddle. And I had a few conversations with him and told him kind of what I wanted to do, and he kind of pointed me in the right direction and said, "Here you go, man. Figure it out." And he's an awesome guy, and if you have a chance to go check him out,
I
he does
definitely
some
want to check him
very
out. So
cool
he
stuff
goes
too.
live as well.
Oh yeah,
And
he's
so
got
it's sweets, like a sweet with the Z at the end.
a Z,
Okay.
so it's underscore SWEETZ underscore.
Got it.
I mean, his room is just off the chain.
Perfect.
It's
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of amazing people that I've met here on this app, that are really helpful, And that's great. I mean, like I said, you have a very interactive room, and your personality is awesome as well. And I am actually, honestly, I didn't know much about the country. Not that I know, I'm getting to like it. I'm listening to it more. So it's, I never was exposed to it. If you grew up in New York City, especially, you don't really listen much to country. But, I am definitely, I enjoy your room. I enjoy the music. Absolutely. Um, so how when because you go live multiple days of the week, how do you keep your live the energy going for when you're on for multiple hours a day?
Sometimes it's really tough. Um, it's one of the toughest things that I have to do, and I know I'm not alone in this, is keep my own, not necessarily energy, but enthusiasm up in times when the room is not moving very well.
Right.
Uh, and I don't have a huge room anyway. I average probably 13 or 14 viewers at any one time. Lately, it's been getting a little bit better. I might be finding some traction. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think yesterday, how high did you go? I saw in the 20s.
yeah, and that was a big night. I
That was
mean,
awesome.
it's happened a few times before, but for the most part, I'm just kind of a cozy little place in the corner of TikTok.
Yeah.
Monday night has become my best night.
Monday
Uh,
night. Yeah.
no idea why. It was actually the night that I thought about cutting first, back when it was time to drop from five. Um,
And I
but
have it here in my notes, and I took a lot of notes yesterday because you have theme. Your nights are themed. So talk to me a little bit about that. Promote yourself there. What are the
sure.
themes again of your nights, the shows?
So um, we start the week at 9:30 in the morning, all time Central. 9:30 in the morning on Sunday, and that is the Triple Nickel Sunday Drive. It's a theme show where all of the music is based on the institution that is the open road in America, with the wind in your hair, feet on the dash, all the vehicles that get us down the road, up in the air, or across the water.
Right.
That's what it's about. Whatever moves you, literally, and also where you're going. There's several songs that talk about destinations, and that's part of the road too. So
Yeah.
the Sunday morning triple nickel Sunday drive is the Sunday morning show, and then we do Sunday night. The rest of the times are all 8 p.m. Central.
Uh huh.
Sunday night is Rock the Roadhouse, which is all rock. We play a little bit of everything. Don't particularly focus on any one particular subgenre of rock. I like to put in a lot of '90s stuff,
Hmm.
but if the requests come in, then that's what gets played.
Right.
We've had some Rock the Roadhouse nights that were almost all classic rock,
Yeah.
whatever they want to hear.
I did want to mention that because not all rooms do this, but he does also take requests. And how can people request? Because certain rooms do it differently. How can people, if I want to request a particular song, and now, so if you have a specific, let's say, Sunday night, you said is Rock the Roadhouse, right? So let's say if I go outside of that, do you play it on another day that's more adequate for that theme?
Okay, hold on.
So like
I,
if you're
I saw
doing Rock
Breeze's
the
comment, and I
Roadhouse.
gotta talk about that in a bit. So I got distracted. Say that question again, please.
So, someone like me, right? I'm getting to know the country music, right? So let's say I pick a song that's outside of that line of music. How do you play it? Do you say, all right, this is not the adequate song, or do you play it on another night? How does that work? And welcome in, DJ Dan.
What's up, Dan? I will stretch really hard to play a song if it's a little bit outside of the theme.
Okay,
But for the most part, you make requests in my room. You always get your very first request you can put in the chat. And then
awesome.
after that, you graduate. I have a request line that's right below me on the view,
Okay,
and you can text it or call it.
Okay.
I tell people to be sure they leave their name so I know who made the request and I can shout out to them. And I also remind them that if they call and leave a voicemail, they get to intro their own song.
Nice.
As long as the voicemail comes through clean and clear, I'll just play that voicemail right over the system and let them do it.
Nice.
But if someone calls in or texts in with a song that doesn't quite fit, then I've only had two requests that didn't fit anything that I do.
Okay.
But everything else, I'll tell them, hey, you know what? We're doing the drive. That's a rocking song, and I will be more than happy to play that
Sweet.
tonight and rock the roadhouse. And I do that right back in the text.
That's
I
awesome.
keep that
That's
off of
awesome.
the.
That's awesome. That's good to know. This is the, like I said, because certain rooms are really just black and white. If you don't request that particular genre, decade, they will not even look at you. They will not play it. But I like the fact that you accommodate that. Um, Talk to me about music and your influence. Who would you say are your top three biggest music influences?
I thought about this question for a while, and it's so
You don't have to
tough.
name three if you, even if it's who's your top.
I John Michael Montgomery is my number one all
Hmm.
time country performer, without a
Okay.
doubt. Excuse me. Um, there is not a single song that John Michael Montgomery ever did that I don't want to listen to. Um, I don't know why he resonates with me so much, but he does. Um, I really like my other top two guys are some that not many people have probably heard of. One of them is the late Charlie Robison, and that's without an N in the middle. Robison. He was a East Texas singer songwriter who refused to allow himself to be dropped into the Nashville machine. Um, and he did some really good traditional country music. He had one mainstream song. It was called Bar Light, Bar Bright. And it's a real rocking song. If you know how to triple step, that's what you do to that one when you're out on the floor.
Ooh, I don't even know what that looks like. I don't know if would you triple step for me? I don't know if that's too much of an ask. Well, what exactly does a triple step look like?
So a two step, which is the basic country dance, is 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. And a triple
Okay.
step is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, one, two,
Cool.
1, 2, 3.
Awesome.
Um, Charlie was something special, man. I have a bucket list of performers that I want to see live. I'm not the kind of guy that loves to go to a big arena. That probably needs to be part of this story. We have a place here called the Cotillion Ballroom, which was built back in the 50s, and it was built, or I think it's the 50s. It was built around its acoustical schematics. So they didn't build the building first and then make it sound good. They built it the way that the sound needed to be.
Oh
And you
wow.
can whisper on one side of this thing and hear it on the other side, about, I don't know, 40, 50 yards. So
Wow.
it's a pretty big place. Well, it's a small place, but it's huge for sound. It's a round building. It has a dome top, and it was made for sound. It's called the Cotillion Ballroom, but colloquially, the locals around here started calling it the Round Mound of Sound, and that's where my name comes from.
Yeah. I love it. It's a catchy name.
So, um, I'd rather go see somebody there, even if I'm not really into their music. I'd rather see live music up close and personal than to pay a whole bunch of money to go to some big arena. That's just not me. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Charlie is on my bucket list, but I'm never going to be able to fill it because he's no longer with us.
Yeah.
And my ultimate concert experience, I believe, ever would have been able to see Charlie at Gillies, which is also no longer in existence. So it's kind of like the dream that will never come true. Um, and then the last guy is an oil field roughneck from Louisiana. His name is Frank Foster. Same thing, doesn't want to do the Nashville machine, and I commend him for it. He does raw country, even bordering on what's called red dirt country, which is more born out of Oklahoma and North Texas. But he's in the same league as Shooter Jennings and some of those guys. Shooter is Waylon's son. So those are my top three, I would say.
Sweet.
Uh,
So let me ask you, if you could open for any band from either the 80s or the 90s, who would that be and why?
Black Hawk. Um,
And
as
why?
a group, as a band, um, they to me are the embodiment of 90s country. Um, they weren't terribly flashy, but they had a sound. There's a lot of creators, a lot of musicians that have a sound, and for a band to have that consistent sound throughout, it's not that easy to do. CCR did it, but even you take somebody like Aerosmith. Aerosmith when you hear Aerosmith, but they have such a wide range of sounds that they play.
Yeah.
Blackhawk, they had a consistent sound all the way through. It wasn't ever boring. Um, Everything that I've ever heard them do, which is pretty much all of it, uh, it's really inspiring music. Even their slow stuff. It's just it's impossible for me to be in a bad mood when I'm listening to Blackhawk.
Nice. I'm gonna have to add that to my playlist as well.
Well, let me give you a song to start with. Make sure you play this for your husband and tell him that the Round Mound of Sound wanted him to hear Blackhawk. It takes a woman. And
It
if you know how
takes.
to waltz, I suggest dancing at the same time.
I've taken classes in waltz and ballroom dancing and foxtrot and a couple of different ones there. I probably can manage to do that. YouTube, couple of YouTube videos. Um, that's funny though, but I'll definitely I wrote it down, and I will definitely play it. He'll be surprised because, like I said, we normally we listen. Well, we have a very open. He more than I. He listens to everything. He listens to all Latin music, and he listens to all anywhere from R&B, reggae, rap. I mean, all over the place. I don't think there's a genre he doesn't like. He's very more. He's been more exposed than I have. Definitely. Welcome in, registered Gen X. Talk to me about what's one song that never fails to get you hyped when you play it live.
That's another one that I really had to think about. And um, I don't really know why this is the one that I settled on, but Brooks and Dunn, Mama Don't Get Dressed Up for Nothing. It's it just starts off with the tuck, tuck, just man, it's like a heartbeat just coming on, and of course, I the picture that goes into my head is taking Mama D out on the town. She don't get dressed up for nothing. So damn it, we're gonna have a good time.
And while you, that's a perfect segue because I was going to ask you about Mama D, and I believe she's in the chat. So welcome in, Mama D, as well. It's a pleasure and an honor to have you here. Talk to me a little bit about Mama D and what she's doing on TikTok. Talk to me about the front porch.
The front porch. So there's like 5 or 6 people I've ever met in my life that have a true pure heart, and she's one of them. And there's nothing not kind about her. And as I started this venture with the triple nickel, and even somewhat back into the trivia days, we had some tension because I spent a lot of time being a host, and it got into family time, and we had several conversations about it. And some were heated, you know.
I
Um,
know that well, all too well. Trust me, Jason.
right?
So, yeah.
And one day she said she wanted to go live, and she had like 100 and some odd followers. So we started working on her following and trying to figure out what she wanted to do. And she said, I just want to bring people up into boxes and just have talk and talk about things that are good and not have any drama and whatnot. And I said, well, sounds like inviting people up on the front porch like we used to do back when we were growing up.
Right.
So that's kind of where it came from. And we've gone through a couple different graphics for her background and whatnot. But uh, the past month or 6 weeks have been kind of rough with family schedules and things. And I've been trying to dial down the Triple Nickel show. And we, right before all of this stuff around here kind of started happening, we decided that I was going to go live 3 days a week and she was going to do the other three, and we'd have Saturdays off. So she started out as Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It just, she had been live a few times before that. And her debut live went over like gangbusters. And it got a little off the rails, too. I mean, Mama D is the queen of That's What She Said. The
Oh,
queen.
gotta go check it out.
And anytime something like that happens in her shows, it's a great time. So recently, Wednesday kind of became a deal for me to take back over, and so she is starting this week. Thursday is going to be her number one day, and Fridays will be fairly often, but Thursdays is going to be the day to come up on the porch and have some kind conversation and a tall glass of lemonade or tea if you're into that.
Nice. Thursdays and at what time so that our
8
viewers can
p.m.
know? 8 p.m. Central?
Yep.
Okay, 8 p.m. Central. All right, guys. So it's going to be this coming Thursday, 8 p.m. Central. And you said she opens boxes. People could just go,
Yep.
obviously, people that she knows, right? Could go up and chat, right?
One thing, real quick, Breeze, I haven't forgotten about what I need to talk about, but Veronica mentioned that my daughters are cute, and I happen to agree. But they love to be a part of everything. They even to the point where they get in the way. But it's all good. But they're collectively known as the Triple Nickel Twin Troubadours.
You
They're
have two daughters?
they're 9-year-old twins.
Oh,
Um, One
nice.
of them is the mini me, and the other one is the princess. And the mini me, I swear I could get out of the chair and let her do it, and she would. She watches and she knows what buttons to push, and I'm sure that she's probably got a pretty good idea how to do this on her own already.
That's
Um,
awesome.
the
She's going to take
princess,
over then.
she just might. The princess, she likes to be seen.
That's awesome. I got two daughters too. They're far apart in age. My oldest is 31 and my youngest is 18, and they will not even want to be a part of nothing, not even on a video. So the fact that you're blessed because my kids want nothing to do with TikTok, especially now that I'm on it. They used to think that TikTok was cool until mom got on it. Now it's for old people. That's what they say. Um, but let's talk about because you have a lot of things going on. So you have your lives here on TikTok, but you also have a podcast. So I want to know a little bit more about your podcast. Talk to me about that. What's the vibe there, and just talk to me about it.
Sure. So another guy that's in the room, one of my real good friends on here, Captain Kirk's crew. Um, I I was looking at the deal the other day. I think it's 388 days, 89 days today is how long I've been going into Kirk's room. And I'm a huge Trekkie. I'm a nerd. I'll say it every time I get the chance. So one day I was scrolling and I saw Captain Kirk's crew. I'm like, ooh, I'm going in there. Well, it wasn't anything like what I thought it was going to
We're
be like.
expecting.
Turns out Captain Kirk is a very kind and congenial host, and he has a room that has to do with healing from traumas in life and whatnot. And I'm a kind guy. I'm an empath, and I found a place in his room that I wanted to stick in, even though it had nothing to do with Star Trek. So here about, I don't know, probably going on 4 or 5 months ago, this fella named Breeze came in the room. And, we with the subject matter that happens in Kirk's room, I get protective. I'm one of his mods, and it can get pretty deep in there. So when somebody new comes in, just like anybody else, we watch them,
Right.
and then Breeze made his way up into the boxes. It didn't take him too long. It didn't take us too long to realize that he's a pretty goofy dude, really good guy, loves to laugh and talk and everything. And then he started making music. Like he'd be in Kirk's life the whole time, and whatever the subject was about that day, while we're all talking and hashing things out and crying and laughing and cussing and discussing and all of that, he's on his computer listening and still interacting, and he's writing AI music. And at the end of the show, he has written a song that's appropriate to the subject that Kirk had that day.
Wow.
It's a really cool thing. And then I started talking to him about it. Like, you know what, dude, I would like to have my own custom song for the Triple Nickel Roadhouse. So we sat down. Well, I was driving and had him on my earpiece, and we worked out one song that was called Jello Shot Haze. It talks about doing 11 Jello shots with Mama D. It came out so well, we were hooked. And there's a lot of songs that I have that I can play that Breeze has done. We ended up making the house band, the Roadhouse Night Shift is their name, and occasionally we'll throw down songs from them. And the way that Breeze does it, it all comes out sounding great. So an evolution happened in that relationship where Breeze and Kirk and I have pretty much become brothers. I'm the young one. I did get a chance to meet Breeze a few weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
Haven't
So
had a
he's in
chance to meet.
Kansas as well?
No, he's actually in Indiana.
Oh, okay.
But
Wow.
we took a trip to Nashville for I don't know how to say it. Breeze is fighting stage 3 pancreatic cancer,
Oh,
and Kirk and I have taken it upon ourselves to help support him in many ways. One of those is to try to get him an emotional support animal. And one of my other viewers is helping to make that happen. We've been through a lot of heartache with it and making it actually come to fruition. But one of the things that when we thought it was going to be finalized was to meet him in Nashville, because it was kind of in the middle. So I got to meet Breeze on that trip. Haven't been able to meet Kirk yet, but we talk all the time, and it's like we are brothers. So Breeze and I kept doing this music thing, and I don't know how many songs I've got of his. He has made over 1,000 songs. And
wow.
one day I called him and I was like, I got an idea for a song. I don't remember what that idea was at this point, but he made a comment in that phone conversation that he's always wanted to do a podcast, but he doesn't have the voice for it. Those are his words. And but he's got the technical ability to put one out. And I said, dude, I've always wanted to do a podcast too. he said, well, you got the voice. Let's get together on it. So we started talking. We kind of got an idea of what we wanted to do, just kind of a shock talk thing. I'm not going to lie. I have Howard Stern in my head when I see how this is going to go, you know. And we brought in Main Girl and Captain Kirk to round out the four of us. And then not too long after that, Mama D said she wanted to be a part of it. So she's going to take on the role of our producer. So she'll be the one actually talking to the visitors who can come in and watch and listen as it happens, and they can type. Everything goes through her, and then she sends the comments to us as a group, or if only one of us needs to see it for whatever reason, she does that. You know, we talk. The plan is to just talk about whatever comes up. We're going to have an idea before we walk in on what we're going to talk about, but we're not afraid to go off the rails or get pulled off in some direction and just do what seems fun. And it's called Unforgivables. The 4, F-O-R, is replaced with the number 4. So UN4 Givables. And you can find it. We have 3 episodes up so far. You can find it on the Tube. You can find it on the Spot. And I think, Breeze, you can misspell wherever else, but I think the fruit one, the red fruit, we go live at around 6:00 p.m. on Sundays. That's Central Time. So this coming Sunday will be our 4th podcast episode.
Okay.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're really having fun with it.
That's fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. So you have 3 already there that we can watch. And then this coming Sunday you have another one. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to that. Podcasting is one of the things that I aspire to do one day too. So do you see that your podcast and your lives, are they 2 separate worlds, or are they intertwined with each other? Talk to me about, because you were telling me a little bit about what the podcast is. You were comparing it to, and I put it here in my notes. I don't remember if it was Paul Harvey that you mentioned, that he does something similar. So talk to me about that so they could have an idea of what to expect.
That's actually a separate thing.
Okay.
But it's integrated into the podcast. I've recently begun a branding push as the Round Mound of Sound, of which the Triple Nickel Roadhouse, and that is my product. The podcast I'm a co-producer of. Okay. And then the other thing that I've started doing is called That's Why You're Here. And for anybody who remembers Paul Harvey, he was a radio broadcaster out of Chicago, and he was famous for The Rest of the Story, in which he took about 5 minutes and would talk about someone that everybody knows, but he would do research and find things out about that person that were lesser known, and then he would tell a story about them. And he, you know, like some people may or may not know that John Wayne's real name was Marion Morrison. So if, and I'm sure he did, if Paul Harvey had done the rest of the story about John Wayne, he would have started it out and gone through the whole thing talking about a guy named Marion. And you listen to all of the details that are coming out about things that Marion experienced in life before he became John Wayne, or maybe even once his life started coming into being John Wayne, he's still talking at him about Marion. And then at the end of the 5 minutes, he would do the big reveal that he's been talking about John Wayne the whole time. And you're like, wow, that's really cool. Yeah. So I grew up, that's the one thing that I didn't rebel against when it came to country music, because Dad played Paul Harvey every single weekday. He was on at 4:30 in the afternoon on KFDI, and if I was around the radio, I was listening. So big time influence on me. And then here, 5-6 years ago, Mike Rowe, the Dirty Words guy, started doing his own iteration of it, to which he paid homage to Paul Harvey. And he called his That's the Way I Heard It. And same thing. The big reveal at the end. And I've always wanted to do something like that. So I started a couple of weeks ago. I've got 5 recordings already. The first 2 have been released. They're on the podcasts. They're on the second and the third podcast. I call mine That's Why You're Here. So I will start talking about somebody. The first one, his name is Al. Of course, that's not what everybody knows him as. But I get a couple paragraphs in about Al and his younger life, and then I stop and take a break and I say, but that's not why you're here. And then I go on with what Paul Harvey considered the rest of the story. And then at the very end, after the reveal, I say, that's why you're here. And
That's awesome.
I am so stoked about doing it. It's
Keep
a
your
lot.
audience right in suspense, right? Just to know the big reveal at the end. So that's a way to hook them, especially on a podcast.
Yeah.
Right? That's
Those
awesome.
are the 3 things that I'm doing right now. So that's why you're here is kind of a segue straddle between the 2, because I am going to start putting out the productions of That's Why You're Here on my page here. It'll be available for subscribers to listen to the whole thing.
Oh, nice.
Anyone else will get all the way up to, but that's not why you're here. Then you got to subscribe to hear the rest.
I love it. That's great, because that way, yeah, that's and people are gonna want to subscribe because they're gonna want to know. They're gonna want to know. So that's a great way to promote, the subscriptions. Do you bring any guests to your podcast, or is it just usually? You said there was 4 talking heads, right?
Well, and Mama D.
Okay.
Sometimes she will be in there as a producer. Sometimes she'll be in there as a host as well.
Okay.
If she's in as a producer, you won't be able to hear her. If she's in as a host, you can. But yes, we have yet to have any guests, but that's a big part of what we want to do.
Nice.
And we would like to have guests and base our conversation, that episode, around something about that guest. We've talked to a couple of law enforcement officers who have expressed an interest in coming in and doing the behind the scenes look of what really happens when they're out there. Breeze has a friend who is an ER trauma nurse. That's going to be a compelling thing to listen to, and she starts talking about life in the ER.
Yes. Wow.
And it's not always going to be hard stuff. I would absolutely love to get to the point where we're bringing on people who are somewhat known, comedians and whatever else.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the whole thing, is to hopefully get to the point where we have guests as the main hook for the week.
That's awesome. I look forward to that. And you just started 3 weeks ago, so I could only imagine where you're going to be 6 months from now, a year from now, right? I know that you also do merch, right, to promote your business. So talk to me about what T-shirts you have, what designs, where can people get your merch if they're interested, and welcome in Peggy.
Sure. We have 2 things available. This is the only shirt in existence that has a pocket logo, and it's the Triple Nickel logo.
Nice.
There we go. The rest of them are all front center logo. We have T-shirts and T-shirt hoodies. And the hoodies are actually lighter than the T-shirts, and they're extremely comfortable. I know we have black, we have gray, and a light blue. Teals, the sweetest lady on TikTok, bought a blue one, light blue one, and she got that for Mother Love. I don't know. I apologize for not knowing my product. Um, it's on my TikTok showcase. Another creator on the app, What Moves You, WHTMVSU,
Hmm.
is the one who has the shirts and puts them out when someone purchases one. I want to get hats done because I'm a big hat guy,
Yeah.
but we're having considerable trouble getting the logo digitized into the format that she needs to be able to do it.
Oh,
So hopefully soon
yeah.
be able to do that. But yeah, we got shirts and t-shirt hoodies
Nice. So
right
go
now.
check him out, guys. Again, he has his t-shirts and sweatshirts, right? Hoodies.
Yeah, they're t-shirt hoodies.
On his TikTok shop, which is just by clicking on his profile, and then you could check it out and show some support there too.
In the
Um,
showcase.
when you do you design them yourself, or do you connect with an artist to come up with the creations of your the images that are on your shirts?
I am so glad you asked that question. Um, the concept for the logo, which is pretty much the only thing graphic wise that's on the shirts. There are other things. There's a QR code on the sleeve that somebody can click and come straight to the show,
Yeah.
and a couple hashtags. But um, I had the idea of what I kind of wanted, and then it did not come out that way. And in the middle of the logo are three buffalo nickels, and that part, or the single one of them, uh, the original image of the buffalo nickel,
Yeah.
Gen Xer Alternative 80s Live actually made. And he sent it over to me, and he sent me a white version and a blue version, and I loved them both. And then I started thinking, just because my brain goes crazy, what else can I do with this? And I wanted to get three stacked nickels because it's the triple nickel.
Right.
Um, and then I started thinking about how it would look on a bar wall with the neon around it. And Tiff X, my friend, uh, I knew that she did graphic work, and I sent her a message, and we got on the phone and started talking about what my vision was. And she had never done the neon look with any of her uh, graphic arts to date. So she was kind of intimidated, but I had complete confidence in her because I'd seen everything else that she'd done.
Yeah.
This is what she came up with, and I will sing her praises every single time anybody asks me about it. I mean, it first shot right out of the gate, it came to my eyes exactly the way my brain saw it,
Awesome.
and
Awesome.
I couldn't be happier.
That
She
is
did a great
awesome.
job.
So guys, remember, if you want his hoodies, t-shirts, go check him out in his showcase just by clicking on his profile. Is that the only place that they could get your merch, or do you also have like a website? Talk to me about. I know you dropped. You mentioned you have a website as well. I know it's currently not. I don't know if it's up and running, but talk to me a little bit about the website too.
It is there, and things will be uh, coming to it soon. Right now, it's just a landing page.
Okay.
I got fortunate enough that I own the roundmoundofsound.com.
Right.
And
That's right. Guys, if one of my mods could type it in the chat, I know we can't pin because we're in boxes, but the website is the round mound of sound.com. The round mound of sound.com. So are you anytime soon, are you planning to add that merch in there as well to direct traffic to your website?
hopefully within a month.
Awesome.
Um,
Awesome.
I'm in the middle of trying to figure out this marketing campaign, branding campaign. I've got a couple people that I'm working with to make it happen.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the kind of guy who, I don't mind talking about it on here and letting everybody know that it's there, but I'm not going to go whole hog on it until everything is in place. And then, of course, when I do, everything's going to fall out of place, and that's just life.
Yeah.
But when everything is there and ready to go, or at least good enough,
Yeah.
uh, that's when I'll start pushing it out there. But the the one thing that you can do at this point on the website which doesn't even have any graphics of mine on it,
Mhm.
is you can email me. And the email address is howdy@theroundmountainsound.com. So you can send me emails that way.
Nice.
That reminds me, we were talking about my request line.
Yes. Talk to me
My
a little bit
request
about that.
line,
We'll circle back to that. Like I said, this is your
okay,
show. I'm just using my obviously my channel to promote you. That's what I love to do.
appreciate it.
So
Well,
take
real quick
over.
comment about the request line. It's on 24/7. So if you're driving down the road and you think of a song you want me to play, send it in right
Nice.
then, and it'll be there when I fire up. And if it's not, even if it's not the night for that kind of music, I'll keep it in the queue.
Nice. Awesome. 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 And your request line, I don't know, can we provide phone numbers here or not? Is a request line on your profile or how would they,
No, it,
unless they go to your live, they wouldn't know, right?
well, you can pull up some of the videos,
Okay.
and it'll be there. Just pause the video and do it. I mean, if anybody wants to write it down, I'll tell it to
Yeah,
you.
please do. So guys, remember, if you come across a song, you're driving on the road and there's a song that you want him to play, he does have a request line where you could text or call in that song.
It is 620-953-1108.
Okay, awesome. That's awesome. So I have a
Actually,
couple
you're
more,
right. I should put it in there.
yeah, couple more questions for you. Does
Sure.
anybody in the chat have any questions? Thank you, Amber, for that. Anybody in the chat have any questions? I have a few more questions to ask. So, which one do you prefer? Vinyl, cassette, or CD? Or neither? Or none?
I hold on. I'm gonna make a mess here real quick, which is probably something that I would like to do anyway.
Or 8-track. I forgot 8-track. Oh my
Eight
goodness.
tracks, yeah, old 8 tracks. Man,
Do you even own any 8-tracks or vinyls?
you know what? I have a vintage Akai, AKAI, 8 track slash reel to reel player.
Wow.
Yeah. So I only have 2 or 3 8 tracks. They were my dad's, but I got them. Now you asked if I prefer what media I prefer.
Oh, you got your collection. I have one of those. I gave them to my dad. I wish I would have stayed with it. I got rid of all my LPs. I got rid of all my CDs. Once we went digital, I was like, I don't need this anymore, and I gave it away.
I
That's
still
awesome.
have
You
them.
still have that. Do you
That's
still
one
use
of
it?
3 books.
You still use it?
I grew up. I came up as a strip club DJ, and every night I carried those suckers in, and uh, from day one of this show, those books have been sitting over there, and I learned pretty early about what the music licenses were going to take and whatnot. But I
Yes.
actually planned on DJing this thing with those CDs. Just
Wow.
didn't get to do it, and I'm cool with that. I don't want to go outside of copyright laws and things. It's
Yeah, of
just,
course. Absolutely not worth
but
it.
they're there for they're here in spirit.
That's awesome. Metallica or Megadeth?
Oh, Metallica all the way,
Metallica.
all
Awesome.
the way.
Awesome. I'm highlighting that right there.
Wherever I
Roadhouse
may roam is
Burger.
probably my favorite.
What was that?
Wherever I may roam would be my favorite. But I really did enjoy No Leaf Clover, which they did with the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra.
Roadhouse Burger or Kansas barbecue ribs?
I'm a burger guy all the way.
Burger.
Give me,
Yes.
give me a black and blue, and I'm just happy as all get out.
Sweet. Favorite guitar solo of all time?
solo. It's hard. Um, Luke Bryan sings a song called "Country Girl, Shake It for Me," and at the beginning, it's not a solo, but at the beginning of the song, the guitar comes in and he hits the whammy bar, and wah, 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 and that sound just it gets me every single time. It's my favorite tremolo in all of country music, but it's not a solo. So my favorite guitar solo, I was not even alive when it happened. It happened on a stage in Woodstock
Mm-hmm.
when Jimi Hendrix played the Star Spangled Banner.
Sweet. And then morning coffee or late night beer?
I'm not a beer guy.
Not a beer guy.
Not a beer guy. I'll
What is
take the
your
morning
drink of
coffee.
choice?
But if you wanna break out the Jaeger, well, I might have to jump in on that one. But yeah, I'll take the coffee.
You take the coffee. What did you say? Let's see. Somebody said, "Woohoo! A man with impeccable taste." I love you guys. So guys, do you have any questions? Anything else that you want to add? Like I said, I'm not pressed for time, so we can go on for as long as you want. Nelson, do you have any questions? Amber, we got 18 amazing people here now, so thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. And thank you for the gifts.